What's up? What's up? It's the lead man here, having another episode of the Wiser Future podcast. I'm here with my big bro Chris Lee.
What's going on, y'all?
And the OG Kent Lee.
Well,
so y'all, we gonna be talking about the NBA playoffs today, man. It's kind of a little. I didn't expect the East to really go this way with the Celtics being where they at, man. Like, what do y'all think?
what, man? You stay in the East. You gonna rule out the East? Come on, man. Come on.
Well, Boston they got a good team. I didn't see Boston going to the finals, but I did actually saw them going to the finals prior to the Kyrie injury. But I mean, they play team ball. That's what it takes at this time of the year. You just can't play individual ball, and they all come together. Young guys playing great ball right now. It's kind of hard to beat right now, in my opinion.
Wow. I'm still thinking about you thinking that the East wouldn't make it. Man, come
The East wouldn't
on.
make it.
Yeah, you didn't think the East was going to be in the finals or in the deal like this, but yeah, the East is the bomb. You take I mean, I know Philadelphia fell off, man, but I really expected Philadelphia.
Yeah, I had Philadelphia coming out there. Philadelphia let me down. If I had put my money on anybody, it would have been Philly.
But the East is like the East look weak to me. Like when you're looking at the East, they look weak to me.
Compared to the West.
Like if you would have took the Lakers and put them in the East, Lakers probably be 3 seed.
Never. We would not be.
Who better name 5 teams in the East better than the Lakers?
All 8 better than the Lakers, but the East have a lot of players individually that's great. A lot of teams in the East don't have that big man or the guard that.
I agree with that.
The West is stacked. The West is stacked every year. So I mean, I don't see nobody coming out the East unless it's Cleveland.
Cleveland, nah. I don't see Cleveland doing
I
that.
tell you what though, John Walls and them is only a player away from being just as great as any other team.
What position?
I mean, they need someone on the inside a little more and maybe a good forward. But as far as the guard play, hey, them boys.
I just think they need a deeper bench. I mean, they start 5.
I agree.
I got a great hot take. Okay, when are we finally going to discuss Damian Lillard? Damian Lillard did not show up at all in the playoffs this year. He didn't show up. I don't care what he did in the regular season. I don't care what he did in the past. He didn't show up. I would get rid of Damian Lillard before I would the other dude,
CJ McCollum.
I would get rid of Damian Lillard before I would.
I don't agree with that. Damian Lillard. I mean,
what?
But you really got to look at the game when it's played, because Damian could have been targeted. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they could have had more than say one player stopping him from getting
best
his.
Get targeted.
Yeah.
Kobe got targeted.
I'm just saying.
They're about 2 players away from being good.
That's impossible. That's impossible point to get two players. The good players.
They just need to hope they can bounce back in the offseason and sign somebody or through the draft. But Portland, they got their team is built for the regular season, but for right now, for them to make a run in the playoffs, that's not happening. That's how I feel about the Toronto Raptors. Toronto Raptors they are built for a regular season, but to me, a 7-game series against anybody, they just not built for it. And every year it shows they do not do well in the playoffs.
Right, and I'll go back to Portland again. They probably is a team that I never expected to even get as far as they did, if you want to know the truth.
That's what I'm saying.
And then when it all started going down, Little did show up. I mean, he was putting it in the hole. I mean, you can't dispute that fact. He put it in the hole, but as we were saying earlier, they just a few players away. But if he keep his game the way it is, and they add a few players, then I think.
But that's the thing with Damian Lillard. It's getting to the point now. He's been in the league for a while, and he's supposedly the face of that franchise. After a while, if the pressure's on him, the pressure on CJ McCollum, the pressure on the coaches that team don't get over the hump, they're gonna start looking at.
That's my point.
Damian Lillard.
I said when we gonna take a look. I said when we gonna, because I'm trying to talk about it before it happens. Like as we're talking, I think we're a year ahead of what's really gonna happen. But when are they gonna take a look at Damian Lillard and say, okay, like our franchise, you can't carry our franchise.
And we'll see that McCollum's going to have to go just to get another, if in a trade, just to get another big man in there or something, because they're two guards. They're the same size. One, CJ's a scorer. He puts the ball in the hole, but they don't have a true two. They don't have that size. It's kind of hard for somebody his size to dominate the league, and we haven't seen nobody his size dominate the league since Allen Iverson. Steph Curry puts the ball in the hole, but Steph Curry doesn't do nothing like what Allen Iverson was doing at that size, and Damian Lillard definitely doesn't do it.
So my thing is not the NBA now is a win now league. So a lot of teams, it's very rare you see a team giving people the luxury to grow and become great in their position. And Damian Lillard, I feel like, has had more time than a few people have. So I got another question. Even though they are doing good, as my dad just mentioned, how long you think before they're going to blow up Washington? Because it's going to happen. Because look at the Clippers. They gave the Clippers a long time to gel and get together. DeAndre Jordan left. They begged him to come back, only to blow the team up. So when you think they're gonna blow the Wizards up?
They're gonna blow up real soon because Bradley Beal and John Wall. I'm not gonna say that. I don't think I didn't want to say they don't get along, but you can feel there's tension there because when John Wall was hurt, a lot of people were saying that. Like Martin Goodtalk said,
was tweeting about him.
He said that we played better team ball and the ball moves more.
He put LOL on the
John Wall distributes the ball just as good as any point guard in the league.
Oh, yes.
And for Martin Goodtalk to say that publicly, where it showed that they showed his numbers, but majority of his points came from being assisted by John Wall. For him to say that, it makes me seem like there's some type of
it's not a basketball thing. It's not a basketball thing. It's a person. Because John Wall is one of them alpha male dudes.
Yeah, and he plays defense. He plays both ends. He plays both ends for. Yeah. So for the teammates to kind of single him out while he was down, I didn't get it. It was a shock to me because I thought, John Wall has done a lot for that.
I got a question to you guys. Which do y'all think that is more important, the championships or the Hall of Fame?
Oh man.
Reason I said that. Reason I said that is because a lot of the naysayers has made it where some of the great players that's on the team that wants to jump ship to get a championship, but I believe stats is more important than anything you ever can imagine. Meaning, if they stay on that team and not so much worry about not getting that championship, because most of the naysayers, like I'm saying, try to say that the players are no good because they don't have a championship ring. Right. There's a lot of that's been compared to Kobe and Michael Jordan because of the rings that they possess. But nevertheless, they've been some players. You take Allen Iverson. You cannot say that he wasn't just a greater player than them guys was. He might not have a ring.
Right. Karl Malone.
Karl Malone, John
I just read an article today. Matter of fact, it was sometime late last night. He was talking about how the Utah Jazz was one of the greatest teams.
Yeah.
One of the greatest teams ever.
Man.
But they just happen to play with the greatest player against the greatest player ever. Yeah. So that's a valid thing. Like, do we discredit Karl Malone because he don't have a championship, or do we praise him? I don't praise him over Robert Horry. Robert Horry got
Robert Horry
was good, but don't get me wrong, I'm not putting him over Karl Malone. Like in a pickup game, I'm Karl Malone. You know what I'm saying? So like, which matters? It's hard to say.
This is my opinion on the rings and Hall of Fame. To me, the rings kind of defines your legacy. That to me, it puts a big stamp on your legacy. People, you can't say Karl Malone or Charles Barkley wasn't good because they didn't have rings. Those guys have outplayed tons of people who have rings. The rings, yes, it does emphasize a lot when it comes to you individually, but to me, it puts a bigger stamp on your legacy because you're a great player and you did what it takes to get these rings. And a lot of us want to admit Jordan had a great team. Kobe had a great team. Durant with Golden State, they were a great team. Patrick Ewing, he was on a great team, but he couldn't get the ring. But I'm not gonna say Patrick Ewing isn't good as Pau Gasol because Pau got 2 rings and he doesn't. The rings to me just put a stamp on your legacy. The Hall of Fame to me is more of you standing out as an individual. The ring puts puts a stamp on your legacy and your team's legacy. To me, it doesn't make you better than anybody else. And my argument, people kill me about it all the time. You can't tell me Kevin Durant isn't just as good as LeBron James only because LeBron. You could tell me Kevin Durant can't sit in the same conversation with LeBron James only because he has one ring, LeBron has 3. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is just as good. Charles Barkley. That's my point.
That's crazy.
You cannot say Charles Barkley is in the top 5, top 10 power forward only because he doesn't have a ring.
Like Derek Fisher don't deserve the tie Allen Iverson shoes.
Well, my thing is the rings more or less speaks that the organization finally got the personnel.
Exactly.
Now you got the era of the big 3s, the big 4s, and you believe it or not, some of the teams got 4 and 5 players that's all stars.
Right.
Back in Charles Barkley day, I'll say back in Patrick Ewing day, back in Karl Malone day, you might have 1 or 2 on those teams that could really throw down like the big 3 or big 4. But nevertheless, I would put any of them in the same conversation with those that have won 5, 6, 7 rings.
So I'll say now, I actually think, and that those both was really good points. I'll say now, I actually think that the rings don't matter as much anymore because it's kind of getting finagled to get rings. It's kind of like I was reading another article about record labels and how record labels they'll put out an album and then they'll buy 100,000 albums. Right. It's just so the person can go platinum or go gold. Like, do we look at the artist and say, "Oh man, like your fans love you, they bought your records," or do we just say, "Well, the record label did what they had to do in order to help you to go platinum"? You know what I'm saying?
Right,
so,
see, the thing about
I'm like in basketball, I'm just like, okay, you got your ring, but like my dad said, like I'll give it more to the team and the organization because they're making the moves to get the players now versus just having good players. They're doing this like chess now.
People don't realize that a lot of people have just become fans of basketball within the recent years, or nobody's never really
Social media
studied basketball or follow certain players because at the end of the day, if the rings matter, you never hear somebody say Bill Russell's the greatest player of all time.
That's right, man.
If that was the case, if the rings matter that much, Bill Russell, he would be the guy that you would talk to every time, but that's not the case. And even back in the 80s on up to now, there are so many teams that had 3 powerhouse players that didn't win. Like you look back at the Bad Boys of Detroit, they won some championships. And look at all those guys that's possibly gonna be in the Hall of Fame. Even you look at the team at Golden State that was had a power. You had Mitch Richmond, Tim Hardaway, Chris Mullin. 3 of some of the greatest players.
And
that was a big 3.
My main man before he got ditched pretty well.
Right. If you look at the 2002, 2003 Portland Trail Blazers.
In Orlando with Penny Hardaway and Shaq.
And Sacramento Kings, they had Chris Webber, Hedo Turkoglu, Pedro Stojakovic, Mike Bibby, Jason Williams. Probably one of the best teams to never win a championship. Then you look at Portland, Bonzi Wells, Ruben Patterson, Rasheed Wallace. I mean, there was a lot of teams back then that had 3 or 4 players that were legit great, but as we all stated, you went through that era with the Bulls where you just went against the best player. You look at the Lakers and San Antonio, their dynasty. And the way we're making these power teams now, there's only probably 6 teams in the NBA or 8 maybe that legitimately could compete for the championship because everybody's teaming up to take out a certain amount of people or players or teams. And to me, it's starting to take away from the game a little bit. I don't like to see one player jump to another team, or I'd rather see these guys build from their franchise and keep building. Like Philadelphia, if Philadelphia stuck by their coach, Philadelphia had how many losing records in a row? 2 years ago, they gave their coach an extension. And I was one of the people I was like, why is this man getting an extension? They had a number 1 pick the past 3 years. They can't win over 25 games, but their organization had a solid foundation.
But they trust the process. They really did. They really did it.
That only not goes with the players, it goes with the organization. Yeah. It started from the ground up, and it's slowly but surely, every organization in the NBA, NFL, college, everybody now starting to say, trust the process.
You know, I got another key point on that. I mean, you go back into the era of Jordan. I mean, Jordan was a scorer, we know that. Then we had Paxton that could shoot a three. We had Curry that could shoot a three.
Right.
And to me, the finishing touch on all of that was the fact that they brought in Dennis Rodman. Dennis Rodman is a defensive machine.
Yep.
And see, once you got a man that can play defense and shut down the opposing team offense, you give your offense another opportunity to score.
Right.
And that was the key to Jordan them going about as far as they did, because Dennis Rodman was Johnny on the spot when it came to defense. I mean, not just block shots, not just rebound, but this brother would take charges like mad.
And get it.
Yeah.
He get the best player.
And now it's like defense is not even a part of the game no more.
Yeah.
You got a couple of people that play defense, and I'll say this: back then, players were so unselfish. Now everybody on the team feel like they should be the superstar. Back then, everybody was good at their role and they stuck with their role. Now it's I'm not shooting the ball 20 times a game. He's shooting more. Well, I'm gonna go here and try to do that. And I think, and that's the reason why I think the game hasn't evolved to like total offense.
Play the game.
Yeah,
I remember when they was complaining because they wasn't scoring 100 points.
And,
You know?
and people voting in it. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, and they're like if you really listen to the commentators, they're always talking about speeding the game up.
Right.
Like think about it. They give you a technical foul now for or a warning for touching the ball as they come out of the net because they claim it slows down the game. And slowing down the game means that you don't score a lot of points.
Right.
So that's like it's like the philosophy of it now. It's like you said, offense,
Right.
Yeah.
threes.
But that's all it's about. No, they don't teach.
And I hate that for the kids. I hate that for the kids.
That's why I could appreciate college basketball more because
Right.
those guys still instill defense. They play tough ball. But once it's like let's get to the NBA, it's like a 3-point shootout. People going straight to the hole, not even trying to stop nobody.
How about the glove, man? How about the glove?
Right, man. There's no more Gary Paytons out
Hey,
there.
man.
No more lockdown players out there like that.
Yes, sir.
It's like people play defense in spurts. Back then, these guys played defense from the beginning to the end. Now it's like, if you notice when the NBA season start, they automatically start talking about having fresh legs in the playoffs. So we're gonna monitor his minutes. Just 3 games in the season. It's like he played 42 minutes, so are you gonna cut back on his minutes for when the playoffs roll around? And it's November. It's like
I give LeBron credit for playing all 82 games.
Yeah.
We gotta give him some props for that. And then I wanted to ask you a question. Okay, right now we have LeBron James and we have Kevin Durant. So it's safe to say, and I hate to use this comparison, but it's safe to say that back in the day that Michael Jordan was our LeBron James right now. Who was the Kevin Durant in the NBA when Michael Jordan was the LeBron James?
You talking about pure shooter?
No, I'm just saying, like, who? You know how you got LeBron James and Kevin Durant? Like, you really can be like,
who was
that guy back when you was watching? Because you had the privilege of seeing Michael Jordan come up and with the rookie campaign and all that stuff. Who was the Kevin Durant of the league back then?
Man, Bernard King, brother.
For real?
Bernard King could light it up.
I say this, Bernard King was a good player.
Bernard King.
I respect it.
Yeah.
But my thing is,
y'all go on YouTube and look Bernard King.
But before Jordan, in my opinion, the man was magic. It was magic. Magic was the NBA until Jordan.
I'm talking about Jordan had the grip on the league. When Jordan had the grip on the league, because they tried to say Clyde Drexler until he played versus Jordan, and Jordan shut that down.
Well, actually, you had. I don't know, man. Dr. J was a man, and you take Isaiah Thomas. I mean, the list could go on now. There was some guys that really kept it going now, really. But as far as all around shooting, man, Bernard King could line it up.
I gotta look him up now. I'm ashamed to say that I'm not familiar with him like that.
I'm sorry. This cat was like averaging some. I think 45 points a game.
What?
Serious business. Look it up.
I was YouTube. Like I said, YouTube.
Bernard King was the man. Yeah, he was the man. But all of that said and done, they one guy that I failed to see in the NBA that I really wanted to, and I think he would have took the world by storm, and that was Len Bias.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Legend.
You know, Jordan would have had some competition.
They say that they got a documentary out about him.
Yeah,
I think it's a
I've seen the games when he played for Maryland, man. I hated them when they came to play Carolina. I said, oh man, they don't knock this. I started to say the N word. They don't knock him out. They don't knock him out. I said, Carolina ain't got a chance, man. You know, he was, man, I'm telling you, this cat could take over a game. And I'm going to give you another player that was good that, you know, they never put the spotlight. He take a player that maybe had a misfortune, might go out and snort a little bit. They want to, you know, kind of. Sean Kemp, yeah, but
I know he's
David Thompson. David Thompson.
David Thompson.
David Thompson.
David Thompson was cold.
That the jumpingest summer gun I ever seen in my life.
Yeah, David Thompson.
God, my.
Yo, I always hear, and I YouTube, every now and then I get on YouTube rant where I go back and look at old players, but the Iceman.
Oh, Jerry.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But I seen some of his game. I have never seen somebody as smooth as
I don't know how his finger rolls ever went in, to be honest with you. How can you be way out there?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, smooth.
And I'll tell you another one that kind of sort of threw me off too. How Rick Barry shot his free throw.
That's wild.
And the underhand.
That's wild. And like made him.
Yeah.
I can only bake him like
High
that.
percentage.
Yeah. So I got a question for y'all now coming back to the playoffs for the Western Conference. And you know, I mean, I remember Chris used to talk about him a lot, how Chris wasn't a big fan of his game. He never really studied on him, but Chris was just like, man, like he played bully ball. What do you think about James Harden?
James Harden is a jewel. He's a jewel. And I mean, honestly, man, I don't know what the problem was in Oklahoma.
Man, they should have trusted the process with that.
For them to separate Durant and Harden. Well, Harden first. What were they thinking? I mean,
But that, to me, that was one of those issues that made sense. Harden was a great player, but as you can see, Seth Alosha only started because he was that defensive guy that they needed in the starting lineup. And then as you can see now, Harden is probably top 3 offensive player in the NBA. But I don't think James Harden can stay in front of a 300-pound man with a basketball right now. James Harden does not play defense. He does not play defense. And to me, when it comes to this MVP thing and people want to say who's the best player in the league, I don't understand how you could just say James Harden's the MVP solely off of his offense. I mean, he doesn't play no defense.
it's common sense basketball now, Chris. You know, you don't want to score getting out there and getting in front of a 300-pound truck coming down the lane trying to draw.
But it ain't that hard to stay in front of nobody. One of the first things you learned in middle school was put your hands behind your back and move your feet just to stay in front of somebody. I mean, James Harden can't stay in front of
I don't blame him. I was you hired me to put it in the basket. That's what I'm doing.
You paying me?
Yeah, you paying me to shoot.
Okay, in that case, look at Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook will guard your best player on the court while being the best player. Same thing with Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
He's exerting that same energy offense on
It's up here though, Chris. It's up here. James Harden ain't thinking about that, but Westbrook is.
James Harden is also
when it's all of the said and done, when they talk about Russell Westbrook, they're gonna say he was one of the best all-around players. All-around, not the best player, but one of the best.
How can you not say Russell Westbrook to that conversation is one of the best players in the NBA right now?
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. All around means he does defense.
He's not even in MVP top 3.
But my thing is, how do you have a 6'3" guard to average a triple-double 2 years in a row?
Right.
And you say he's not in the MVP race. If you're not saying Russell Westbrook, I'm not saying he's the best player in the NBA, but if he's not in your conversation,
you're right.
I don't understand.
I'm gonna tell you something I think the NFL need to do, something that the NFL does. I'm not a big fan of the NFL, by the way, but I like what the NFL does. They have an offensive player of the year,
right?
They have an defensive player of the year, and then they have an MVP. Right. James Harden only deserves to be the offensive player.
So that's great.
And then you have the defensive player of the year.
I agree with that.
Yeah, the MVP is the most valuable player on their team. So I mean, and in the league, so I think they need to switch it up because James Harden, there's no way he can get an MVP if he's only doing 50% of what a basketball player does.
Exactly right.
They're just not a humble player.
You're right. That's a valid point. That's
a great point.
Yeah.
I really wish they would do that. And honestly, I actually like Adam Silver a lot as a commissioner because he's making some really good changes.
Before he was a Duke guy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Well, what's the name? I can put him in there with it too. John Wall's all around player.
Oh yeah, he is definitely.
I don't think. I really think people people don't like John Wall's personality, brash personality, the same way they don't like, a lot of people don't like Chris Paul.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I like Chris Paul as a player, but sometimes
I didn't like him in college because when he hit old boy below the belt,
And he turned that.
he does that a lot. Like he plays dirty. Like I don't think enough people talk about that. And I do not any longer like Draymond Green. I can't deal with that dude, man. He's too much.
He's good
He's
at
too
what he
much.
do, but he's slightly overrated. But he's way too much.
He got too much.
I like his attitude.
He was on my team, though.
It works, but
yeah, he's just a beefed up version of Dennis Rodman. To be honest with
That's a
you, you gotta have that
shoot
type
him
of
with
player
it.
on your team to distract the other team. You really do. And then you gotta look at it. Well, can I spare him not being on the court when he get ejected? Those are things you gotta look at. But
Right.
nevertheless, he's out there for that purpose. He's out there to get in their heads, like you were saying earlier about Rodman. He's just a modern era Dennis Rodman. That's all he is.
Right.
So he's needed on that team in order to get it that way.
let me ask y'all guys this: your prediction. Who do y'all got coming out of the East, and who do y'all got coming out of the West? And who do you think is gonna win the finals this year?
Man, that's hard because I don't like. I try to not be biased and emotional when it comes to a decision making. Like I don't want to, cause just because I don't like you personally, don't mean that you're not great. And I don't like. It's hard. Like looking at what LeBron is doing right now. I don't want to go against LeBron because LeBron has been in this position before.
Right.
He's been in this position before. Something about LeBron willpower. When he finally get mad and when he finally feel like, okay, I got to put this on my back, he's capable of doing it. I'm talking about fadeaway threes, clutch shots,
Right.
but he have to get that mentality. He don't have it all the time. He like the Hulk to me. LeBron something got to make him mad before he get there. Like
Right.
Kobe came out the gate like that. T-Mac came out the gate like that.
Right.
LeBron got to get
That's
checked
just a
out.
new part of his game. He thinks
Right.
fast. You know,
The
he thinks
pa-
fast. You know.
Yeah, the past 2 or 3 years, I enjoy watching LeBron because he plays a little bit more selfish. That's the only critique I ever had about him. Most superstars, if you follow through the years, they had a little bit of selfishness in them, man.
Got to.
If the Bulls were down by 10 with 6 minutes left, Jordan would come down and shoot the ball 20 times in a row, and nobody would question him. Kobe would put the team on his back,
Right.
shoot the ball 20 times. Sometimes I feel like LeBron gets frustrated and he gets passive. At the end of the day, I mean, you know your team's gonna look at you anyway. So I mean, go ahead and do what you can to get try to get them to win. Like right now, I cannot say if the Cavs don't win this year, it ain't because LeBron didn't show up.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
They need a Minnesota version of Kevin Love, all I can tell you.
Never happened.
They're going to need an Atlanta version of Kyle Korver. And I promise you, if he get up in their grill and let them know this is what you guys got to do. You got to wake up. You got to make it happen. You got to help me get that thing. And I promise you, they'll make it work.
You know, Jordan Clarkson he actually compared LeBron and Kobe's leadership styles. He said that LeBron was really encouraging and a little more passive. He said Kobe would get up in your face or just not talk to you at all. So, like you said, if LeBron got mad enough to get up in their faces, I seen him yell at the coaches. But
it's the same thing with Tom Brady. You ever look at Tom Brady on the
Tom Brady
sideline?
going crazy.
Tom Brady. You seen Jordan. Jordan will shoot you out. Sometimes you can't bait. These are grown men. They're not kids. You got to. You dare to do a certain thing on the court. If you can't do that, then sit on the bench. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't blame any player getting in another player's face. If we were on teams, I wouldn't take it personal that you jumping in my face almost to do my job, because 9 times out of 10 that person know they're not even doing their job.
If you got the passion, that should make you better. That should make you try harder.
Yeah, exactly right.
But everybody don't really have that passion, like I was saying earlier. Harden don't have it in his head like what Westbrook to be all around. He said, when you said considered to be the best, that means, you're trying to copy Jordan. Okay, Jordan with defense.
Right.
Jordan with offense. So you just can't do offense and say that you one of the greatest.
I'm tired of people saying Kobe didn't pass the ball. Kobe assist stats. Well, he led his team in assists. Just about every
fact check, just in case somebody else said no. Kobe Bryant, out of all the shooting guards in NBA history, is number 1 in assists.
Let's go.
In the shooting guard position. That's over Michael Jordan. He is the number one assist guy, but we all know Kobe was a scorer. But at the same time, Kobe knew if he didn't put that ball in the hole, the chances of his team winning was slim to none.
The thing I liked about Kobe and Jordan, man, like, okay, I always give analogies, but both of y'all seen the movie 300, right?
Yeah.
You remember at the very end, the dude had a chance to kill the dude, but he decided to just hit him up here, and he said, I just want to let you know, even a God can bleed. LeBron is one of the few superstars who is affected by adversity. Like Kobe, if Kobe's not making shots, his shot selection don't change. He just ain't making shooting. If Jordan ain't making, his shot selection don't change. He's gonna keep shooting. If LeBron's getting affected, him and Cam Newton are two superstars that bother me because you're that good, you're that talented, but your circumstances can affect you to where your play diminishes. Cam Newton can get hit in the mouth, and you can see him. We'll come into the huddle. He ain't dancing no more.
But I will say this: football might be a little different because you get your bell.
True.
So, I mean, you run around the corner and you got a Von Miller hit you across the chin. Hey, when I get back, I'm not damn it.
You ain't damn no more. But like another bad example. But Kobe and Jordan, when they missed their shots, and even Iverson, man, they kept shooting. LeBron missed his shots, man. He dishing that ball. Like, you know what I mean? So I don't like when my superstar can get affected because his shot ain't going in.
Well, he's just trying to get back to feeling it, man. I mean, I don't think nothing wrong with that. As long as who he's passing it to is putting it in the hole, I think it's all right. But if they ain't putting it in the hole, then trust you.
At this point in the season, it's win lose. There's no draw.
Who's the third best player on Cleveland? That's horrible. That's horrible. That's like, we don't know. Everybody else after Kevin LeBron is evenly garbage.
In his heyday, I would say Kyle Korver, but Kyle Korver.
He ain't been doing nothing.
Kyle Korver actually plays pretty decent defense as well. But who's your prediction though? Who do you think's coming out of the East and the West, and who do you got with?
Man, okay, coming out the West, I want Houston to win, but I'm not, because only reason I'm gonna pick Golden State because Steph Curry ain't even
Durant.
True. Durant, but see, Durant gonna give you what he gonna give you. He gonna give you 35 every night.
Yeah.
But when Steph Curry wake up and start dancing and slinging that mouthpiece out his mouth, he unstoppable. And then Klay Thompson ain't really well good. And then, like, even Livingston, we see what Livingston did last year. Yeah. Livingston could come in off that bench and give you some buckets. Iguodala, like, and what's your boy? I ain't really seen him play that much in the playoffs. The dude from Duke. Yeah, like he ain't got that much burn, but he's capable of coming in.
So you got Golden State out the West, who you got coming out the East?
You know he's going with Boston.
I'm not going. I got Boston coming out the East.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Who you got?
Golden State and Boston. Golden State and Boston. That's who
you got?
I'm gonna say Golden State and Cleveland.
Okay. I can't even be mad at you though because my heart says go. My mind says go Boston.
You know, I'm kind of skeptical being one just cut.
Sorry?
I'm kind of skeptical because I remember one series that LeBron just got manhandled. You know, Golden State just put it on them. You know, so
I think we'll come out.
But Boston is not Golden State.
I don't agree with that. If Houston matches up with Boston well. Houston doesn't match up with Cleveland well. Golden State match up with either or. If Houston doesn't play Cleveland, I don't think Houston really match up with either or team, but
I don't see
Houston got a better chance at playing Cleveland. I don't see better chance at playing Boston to win.
I don't see Houston going all the way.
If Houston got to score 130 every night like they did last game to win. And like you said, the guys from, they played a bad game and still put up 105 points and lost.
And another thing too, like, I keep forgetting about Houston. Houston ain't got no type of experience in this situation except for a reason. And Chris Paul just showed up this year.
They got veterans though. They might not have. P.J. Tucker's been in the league a while.
People on the court handling the ball ain't got the experience. James Harden was garbage last year in the playoffs. He's just showing up now.
I'll take Chris Paul though.
Oh yeah.
I'll take him on the floor. I'll take him on the floor for me. I'll take him on the floor for me now.
For sure.
When push get the shove now, and Harden get a tag off, Chris Paul gonna pick it up.
Chris Paul came this past game.
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
He gonna pick it up.
Step. Chris Paul's a great player.
Yeah,
You see, Boston got defenders.
That's what makes them great. They play defense.
Mm-hmm.
They don't go out there and try to do nothing special. They play defense. They're the best defensive team that's in the playoffs.
I feel like that coach has got every person to believe in what they're supposed to do. Like, I don't never see nobody trying to do too much on Boston. I don't never see nobody ISOing it up. I just see a bunch of people doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, most definitely. Everybody knows what they're supposed to do. And as a coach, I would be like, hey, you know what you're good at, do what you do, and that's that.
Hey, that's it.
Okay, I got a good question too. Okay, next year, even though this is kind of looking far ahead, next year, I want to call it a sleeper pick. Who's your sleeper pick in the NBA next year that you think is going to surprise people, even more so than this year? If it was somebody from this year to surprise people, who do you think? Who's your sleeper team coming out next year in the NBA?
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Philadelphia.
I feel like it's whoever Kawhi Leonard goes to. That's all I'm gonna say. Whoever Kawhi Leonard go to, that's gonna be the team. 'Cause I think we forgetting that dude is the truth.
Yeah, but you're gonna break down a team for that trade because I read in the media about possible the trade of him. They was asking for the kitchen sink.
Yeah, they were.
So you could lose a lot from a team just to gather one person. So why would you want to do that?
Yeah, I think Paul George going to.
Paul George.
I hope he come to LA.
I think he's a good fit in OKC. They should get rid of Melo.
Melo's some garbage now, man. It break my heart. He is.
I love him to come home to LA. To the Lakers.
If Melo jumper ain't falling, name two other things he good
I'll
at.
tell you what now.
Name two other things he good at besides shooting.
I've been proud of Melo now. I'll be honest.
For what?
Because the boy plays some ball now.
I'm talking about the last 3 years.
I don't know what the problem was this year.
He needs his cornrows back.
He need Melo need a hoodie with braids or a headband or something.
Maybe that's it. Maybe you cut South American back then. Okay. But he has been a good player. In a few games he got showed the pass Melo, man, but I don't know.
A few games. It's like they're paying him for every game. His Melo contract is ridiculous.
But I guess I never have watched Paul George enough to really rate him.
Paul George to come back from that injury like he did.
I thought next year gonna be his breakout year.
He's playing at an elite level. And I think it was still kind of hard for him to take a back seat to Russell Westbrook because he's always been an alpha male on his team. So it's hard for two alpha males to be on the team. And
But I'm sure he knew that before he got there.
yeah, but he was traded, so it wasn't like he had a choice. But at the same time, though, he
didn't have to go.
How long do you think before they blow OKC up? People don't want to talk about it. He's good and all that stuff, but he's not producing in the playoffs. So when we're talking about Russell Westbrook, he did it with Durant, but he can't do it. He can't do it by himself.
he produced in the playoffs, but
I'm saying, but it's
outside of Steven, but look at the players he had. He had Oladipo. Oladipo did not show up.
Oladipo showed up this year.
But then he went to Indiana and showed out.
I got Indiana been a sleeper pick for next year.
Oh yeah,
Oladipo stepped it up.
I think that's a lucky year for him. They're gonna be a lucky year for him. That's all. That was just a lucky year.
Indiana got a young team. Miles Turner was a great player, but for me, I would love to see, just because they're the home team, the Charlotte Hornets do something. Just because they're the home team.
Kemba Walker is the truth too, but they just frustrate me, man. They really frustrate me. And Dwight Howard, I'll guess another thing. People are not talking about Dwight Howard no more. I don't know why. He has came. Dwight Howard back.
He bounced back.
Shoulders is back.
He bounced back. I think it was hard for him. He's like I just said. He was an alpha male when he was in Orlando. He was that guy that you go to LA.
With super
Kobe. You take a back seat to Kobe.
Yeah.
You send him from LA to Houston. You want to take a back seat to Harden. Then you send him to Atlanta. And the dude produced in Charlotte, man.
I'm talking about don't even look like he
send
did.
him back to LA. I'll be happy. Bring him back to the Lakers. I'll be happy.
He broke my heart. Kobe don't like you. I don't like you. I'm just the mama squad. Yeah, man. All right, man.
But nevertheless, I think it's going to be okay next year. I think I just hope Westbrook and them can do something. I just want Westbrook to get one. I really do.
I do too.
Because that guy, he leaves it all on the floor. That's one of the few players in the NBA that's going to give you 110 on both ends of the court. And I respect that. I love a defensive player better than an offensive player any days a week.
82 games is a lot to stay stout, though, boy.
Yeah, him and Kawhi Leonard, those guys are some defensive guys, and Kawhi started to learn how to put the ball in the hole even more.
Did you work out with Kobe?
Yep,
When you work out with Kobe, good things will happen.
every time. Mamba mentality.
I heard you now.
Right.
I heard this the other day. They were asking Tiger Woods about certain players. He was comparing with Jordan and all of those players, LeBron, and Tiger Woods, man. Now he's stuck with Jordan now.
Oh yeah.
Because I know both of them.
Jordan is always gonna be that guy for me, regardless. I don't care. Jordan's that guy. I feel like I'm the biggest Kobe fan on the planet, but at the end of the day, Jordan's that guy in basketball.
I really didn't care for Kobe because the boy just can play some ball. I mean, I hated it when they played my teams because Kobe gonna go off. That's the only reason I didn't like him.
Okay.
But as far as a player, Kobe, bottom line, if I had to choose between him and LeBron James, I'd choose Kobe all day long.
Kobe's like looking at Jordan in the mirror, honestly.
Instinct. He had the killer instinct. That's
exactly. And this what sets a great player apart from a good player, to have that killer instinct.
I just wish
instinct.
Kobe had a little, he could jump, don't get me wrong, but I just wish he had a little more heart, that he really could put the pronunciation on it when he dunked.
When he was Kobe.
I remember back in the day. Now Jordan would jump on you, and then the fans would come up and y'all probably seen that, where the fan come up and say, "Oh man, you dunking on a little boy." Then he came down there and dunked on that same. He said, "He's big enough."
Right.
But Kobe, I probably would choose him over LeBron.
And quickly, another dude, I just want to give him a shout out that he's good. Oh my goodness. What's it doing?
It's your phone?
It's your
My phone got everything cut off.
That's okay. We can cut it here anyway.
How got everything cut off? That's crazy.
That's okay.
So we put the call recorded live right
We
there.
had a little bit of this.
But all right, man. I guess we gonna call that a day, fella.
Yeah.
Enjoyed it.
Yes, sir. I love talking basketball with the Lees.
Yeah, but before we close it, I just want to say, these is one of the few things that we're gonna be doing, far as fathers and sons. We're gonna be, talking about various topics. We have mentioned that before, but we also want to keep you in mind that we are gonna be doing some church things now, because church is key. Church is number one, and we're gonna keep God centered and do it all His way. But we will be having some guys that's coming in from church and doing various things for us. And I'm hoping and praying, I've asked this and I've been talking about it today, that the lead boys would get up here and sing a song for you people out there. And just
We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I want that to happen, and I want to be behind the screen here so you can't see me when I'm trying to cut in behind them or whatever. But I'd love to see that because, to me, I've always enjoyed my sons, to make that joyful noise, and I'm hoping and praying that this will happen in the future, that they would do that for me.
You never know. Contact my agent.
Brother.
All right, then, Mr. Wiser Future Podcast, and we out.
All right, man.